Taiwan is a very impressive island in East Asia, and it offers a diverse amount of landscapes and unique cultural experiences. Futuristic skyscrapers, ancient temples, impressive national parks, and lots of lively night markets. So if you've never been to Taiwan before, I'm pretty sure you're going to be impressed. So let's take a look at some of the most beautiful places to visit in Taiwan. So we'll start this video in Taipei, where modern life moves quickly, but tradition still pulses in its foundations. So the one-time tallest building may no longer be a record holder, but it's still one of Taiwan's most impressive buildings and well worth a visit. The 728-ton mass damper that kind of allows the building to survive the island's many earthquakes is quite an amazing piece of engineering, and you can see it from various points within the building. But one of the most striking places to begin with is the vast plaza, known as Liberty Square, a wide open space watched over by two ornate orange roof buildings, the National Theatre and National Concert Hall. And at its heart sits the Memorial Hall, a towering white structure that draws both us tourists and locals who gather around and watch the changing of the guard. But from here, Taipei unfolds into a mix of quiet rituals, the everyday hustle and bustle, the temples which are part of the city's fabric, where you'll be able to smell the incense that drifts through the air, candles flickering in the shadows, and people who stop to pray, light offerings, or simply pause. So these spaces are often surrounded by the busy streets, but once inside, everything slows down. And as you move deeper into the city, the roads tighten and twist, giving way to a more intimate city. The shop fronts overflow with everything from hand-carved charms and calligraphy brushes to all the street snacks that you can think of. So the city may not impress you with a flash, even though it did for me. It still draws you in small moments. And the nightlife definitely is where the city comes alive. Number 2, Ruifang. Now this might just be one of northern Taiwan's most underrated regions. Tucked between the mountains and the Pacific Ocean, this district acts as the gateway to Jiaofen and Pingxi, but it's worth lingering for a little bit longer. Its winding alleyways hold on to the island's mining past, with old Japanese-style buildings and weather-worn rail tracks slicing through the misty hills. There are small tea houses, that offer that quiet escape from the crowds, while the surrounding landscapes are dotted with waterfalls, such as the Golden Waterfall. Now, although real gold flowing from these falls would be too good to be true, the water is certainly a beautiful gold colour, as a result of a combination of regular rainfall in the mining area and an abundance of heavy metal elements. But it is a beautiful scene of natural beauty. So for those of you looking to experience a little pace that's a lot slower, a more nostalgic side of Taiwan, then Ruifang is where that journey begins. Number 3 is Fongbin. Now this location is between the sea and the mountains along Taiwan's wild east coast. A place where the road seems to forget time. The scenery here is dramatic. Sheer cliffs, winding coastal highways, and the endless sweep of the Pacific stretching into the mist. Now it's sparsely populated. It's deeply quiet, a stretch of land where some traditions are still parts of daily life. But you can stop at one of the tiny viewpoints. You'll likely have it all to yourself. So Fongbin isn't just about things to do. It's a place to reflect when you notice the wind that comes in from the ocean, and where you can just leave all your troubles away, and it really is a very peaceful location. Number 4, Chenggong. Now this feels like a town built on rhythm. The crash of the waves, the clatter of fish crates, and the quiet focus of fishermen heading out before sunrise. So this destination is tucked away on Taiwan's rugged east coast. It's both a working harbour and a gateway to untouched natural beauty. But here you can see the Shanghai Bridge, comprised of 8 connecting arches in red and grey colours. Now this is a magnificent bridge, and it has a shape that resembles a dragon crouching over the sea. So the sea is always in motion here, and so is the community. Boats coming and going, seafood markets coming alive with the early morning sounds. But beyond the harbour, you will come across jagged cliffs, lush hills, and moments of quiet, which is a bit of a contrast to the busy port life. So in Chenggong, you don't just see the landscape, you feel the pulse of the coast and the people who live within it. Number 5, Taroko Gorge. Located in Hualien, in eastern Taiwan, Taroko Gorge is one of the most famous sceneries of the island. The canyon is over 20 kilometers long, so it's best to travel there by scooter or participate, highly recommended, on a guided tour. While traveling beside the river, you can also stop by Aboriginal settlements, temples, museums, or even take off on one of the numerous hiking trails to experience the true beauty of mountainous Hualien. The scenery in the valley is versatile and shifts from beautiful green riverbanks all the way to 1,000-meter high vertical cliffs. A truly stunning destination. Number 6, Kaohsiung. So this is Taiwan's cool coastal city, where the modern skyline meets relaxed harbour vibes. Sitting in the south, it's got a warmer climate. The streets are wide, a mix of culture, street food, and seaside attractions. So I suggest you start at the Lotus Pond, where you'll find the famous dragon and tiger pagodas. Walk in through the dragon's mouth for good luck, and out through the tigers to leave bad luck behind. The area is also packed with colourful temples and scenic spots, perfect for that casual stroll. And down by the harbour, the art centre turns old warehouses into a creative hub full of street art, plenty of quirky sculptures and indie boutiques. So if you do like city views, you can head up the 85 Sky Tower or take the ferry to the island, where you're able to cycle along the coast, eat super fresh seafood, and relax on those black sandy beaches. And of course, no trip here is complete without hitting the night markets. Number 7, Hengchun. Now this is where you want to go for that perfect mix of beaches, history, and that laid-back atmosphere. And this is also right at the southern tip of Taiwan, meaning you're never far from stunning coastal views and warm weather all year round. So start in the old town. The ancient city walls are some of the best preserved in the country. There's also the lighthouse itself. No public entry, but there's a small exhibition room giving information, although nothing is in English. And adjacent to the lighthouse, there's a small park with several walking routes and some very strange and odd-looking sculptures. So remember, if you do go to Hengchun, you might as well drive 20 minutes south and you'll end up at Kenting National Park. The next destination is Taiwan's oldest city, where history, culture, and food come together in the best way. It's got a far more slower and traditional vibe compared to Taipei, with centuries-old temples, historic streets, and some of the island's best eats. So start in Anping, home to the famous treehouse, where banyan roots have completely taken over an old salt warehouse, creating that otherworldly scene. And over in the city centre, you have Confucius Temple. It's a very peaceful spot. Chenggong Street, that's a place to be after dark with its lantern-lit alleyways, plenty of hidden cafes and bars and local shops to go in and out and explore. But Tainan is also known as Taiwan's foodie capital, so you have to try some of the famous beef soup. Danzai noodles and coffin bread, like a deep-fried chowder-filled toast. It sounds quite odd, but is incredibly quite good. So there's a lot to do here, and I'm pretty sure you have a lot of fun. Number 9, Meishan. Now this is a quiet mountain town, surrounded by beautiful misty hills and tea plantations. It's a stop along the Alishan highway, making it the perfect place to take in Taiwan's famous highland scenery without the big crowds. Winding roads with stunning valley views at every turn. This region is also home to some of Taiwan's best oolong tea, so stopping at a local tea house for a cup with a view is an absolute must. Number 10 is Sun Moon Lake, one of Taiwan's most scenic escapes, a place where misty mountains, crystal clear waters, and peaceful temples come together. It's the largest lake in Taiwan, tucked away in the heart of the island, perfect for slow mornings, bike rides, and boat trips across the water. One of the best ways to take it all in is the Sun Moon Lake Bikeway, a stunning cycle route that runs right across the lake's edge, giving you unreal views at every turn. Number 11 is Beitou, Taipei's natural hot spring getaway, where steaming waters, lush hills, and a touch of Japanese history create the perfect escape from the city. Just a short MRT ride from downtown feels like a completely another world. And you'll see steam rising from the ground, a sign that the area's famous thermal waters are always flowing. The thermal valley, also called Hell Valley, is the most dramatic spot, where a milky green hot spring boils at nearly 100 degrees, sending thick clouds of steam into the air. And nearby, the Hot Spring Museum and Temple give a glimpse into the area's Japanese-era history. And finally, number 12, and quite an interesting location, Yehliu, where nature shows off its artistic side. So this coastal park is famous for its otherworldly rock formations, shaped by wind and waves over thousands of years. The golden brown sandstone stretches all the way along the shore, creating a landscape that looks straight out of another planet. The most famous rock is the Queen's Head, a naturally sculpted formation that looks like a regal profile, though it's slowly wearing away, so catch it while you can. And as you continue to explore, you will also find other unusual shapes. But beyond the rocks, Yehliu's ocean views are absolutely stunning, especially when the waves crash against the cliffs. So if you're up for exploring, this is one of those places to head to. And there you have it, folks. That's the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it because it was such a graft. Thanks for supporting the channel as always. And yeah, I will see you all on the next one.